Hey, how are you? My name is Robert Egger. 25 years ago, I founded the DC Central Kitchen in Washington, D.C. as a way to not just feed people, but empower people. And I'm in Los Angeles now. Recently moved out here to continue on that road. But one of the things that makes me proudest of my time in Washington, D.C. is my relationship with Street Sense. I was honored to be the founding chair many, many years ago, and I'm excited that we're about to celebrate the 10th anniversary. In fact, on October 10th, there's going to be a spectacular gathering in Washington. And it pains me that I won't be there, but I want to take just a minute to acknowledge the amazing things that Street Sense has done for individuals, but also the city of Washington, D.C. Now, before we get started, I really want to give a special shout out to my friend Michael Stoops, who had tremendous faith in the concept of a street paper. And it took a couple of efforts before things really took hold. And that has a lot to do with our friends Laura and Ted, who were really kind of the yin and the yang of the early Street Sense experiment. But it was their tenacity and their faith, not just in the idea, but in the people that they came to meet through Street Sense, that really kept the thing going and really got us to the point where we're here to celebrate 10 great years. Now, what I hope you'll do, besides buying tickets to the October 10th gala, if gala is the right word, but gathering. But if I can ask you to do what I'm doing right now, pick up your flip cam, your iPhone, and just jot down a little video, man. Tell us a little bit about your connection with Street Sense. Whether it was a vendor that you particularly liked, or maybe a story or even a poem that moved you, or your own personal relationship with the paper, anything. Help us kind of create a little archive of amazing stories about the way Street Sense has influenced you and through you, Washington, D.C. Now, personally, I met so many amazing vendors, and I really took a great pride not only in buying papers, sometimes a couple of them at a time, from different vendors, but I started doing it in other cities too. Really, there's rarely a city I go to where if I don't see a street vendor out there trying to sell a paper, I don't pony up at least a buck, if not a fiver, to help that person on that journey, because that's what's so cool. Street Sense is about empowerment, but it's also an honest voice. And one of the things that I found really cool was the fact that the DC Central Kitchen was profiled, but you'd think being the chair of the board that would automatically mean that you'd get kind of the buttery, syrupy version of a story, but it was an honest critique of the services we provided. And that's what's really essential, an honest, open, regular contributor to the dialogue about what's best for the men and women who are out in the streets in Washington, D.C. How do we bring them in? How do we empower them? And how do we hold the agencies that serve them accountable? There are so many different ways Street Sense has influenced me, and I hope for you too. So again, do me a favor, support it on October 10th, but more importantly, get out there and record a little video and help us get a great string of stories going to talk about the power of Street Sense. Thank you very much.